What's going on, fam? It's your boy KP, and I'm back with another video. Hope everybody is staying prayed up in these last days, because end times are amongst us. I wanted to make a video. I was thinking today, gang stalking. Gang stalking is what led me, to a relationship and seeing the kingdom of God. I physically got to see what that place looks like. Not all of it, just a portion of it. Got to experience it. But I was very fortunate. There's two levels of gang stalking. And that's what I want to focus this video on. There's levels 1 and levels 2. The first one is physical and the second one is spiritual. And the first one, although my experience in the first one, I experienced it my whole life, but at the time I became aware of something is going wrong, or there's really an organized method of trying to ruin my life. That is when I became aware of it. That is where my research began on directed energy weapons, remote neural monitoring, voice to skull. I was fortunate that phase only went for about a month for me. I see so many people struggling with, if they're real TIs, man. There's so many fakes one out there. For every real deal TI, there's so many fake ones. But sorry, I got dogs all around me. I love dogs. The enemy wants you to stay focused on something physical. If you are focused on something physical, you can never beat him. It would be impossible to beat him. Directed energy weapons. Yes, I could call it a different name. I need to refer to it as a different name, because a directed energy weapon, whenever I hear that, I'm associating it with something physical. And that is the frustration. I shouldn't say frustration. That is the hindrance I see people from growing in gang stalking and realizing what this program really is. When I hear directed energy weapon, I hear of a weapon, a physical weapon. Somebody with a gun outside of your house, even high tech, some satellite shooting something down on you. That's what I hear with direct energy weapon. When I hear remote neural monitoring, it's very similar. Like someone has put a physical implant in your body and is piped back to a computer, and they're able to read your thoughts. Voice to skull. When I hear that word, I think of something physical also, like either a satellite, either some type of dish pointed at your head where it can put sounds into your head and you actually hear them. And to me, when I hear those three things, I always think of something physical. So I realized that as a progression of being a targeted individual, that until your eyes are open to another realm of perception, you are going to be limited to defining your experience in the realm that you perceive, which is the physical realm. And it's a realm. With that approach, say for instance you do figure it out. Say for instance there is directed energy weapons, voice to skull, and remote neural monitoring that's physical, right? Say an organization has weaponry that advanced and they want to come after your life. Like, how do you defend against that? Now, and then like people top it off, it's the FBI and the CIA. Like, how do you defend against that? Like, how would you combat that? Like, little old me, how would I come after? You know what I mean? Like the things that they do, the orchestrated things that they do. How would I fight that? That's why there is so much push to keep people trapped in finding a physical explanation that doesn't lead into a solution. I watch guys all the time when I scan through targeted individuals. I see them with 3 or 4 years of videos explaining remote neural monitoring. Okay, yeah, that's like, imagine going to a doctor and you're sick. Every time he went in there for 3 or 4 years, he told you you had a blood infection and that's why you feel sick, but never gave you the solution. Like, eventually you would stop going to that doctor or just accept you gonna die, or accept there's no fix for it. So I want this to be the wake-up call to true targeted individuals. If you are stuck thinking that these are physical weapons, you're going to be stuck looking for a physical solution, which is going to end up in some type of lawsuit, right? Man, 3,000 kids come up missing every year, and our government organizations can't investigate and stop that. You think they really going to stop you just being harassed? Man, there's 3,000 kids dying every year coming up missing. You still alive. They ain't got time for you. Like, oh man. But for you ones that are open-minded, which is really the test, for those ones that are on a special mission assignment and you've been chosen for this, because if you pass the test, you're going to wreak havoc on a satanic system that has been running the entire world for thousands of years. I experienced all the physical symptoms, guys. I still experience the physical symptoms of gang stalking. But I will tell you that the physical symptoms are a result of about 5% of where it originates from. And I can spend 100% of my energy on trying to fix a 5% problem, or I could use 100% of my energy figuring out where that problem originated from. It was a whole new fight. Once I became aware and my gang stalking went from physical to spiritual, whole different game. Like, it was a whole different game with no break. The learning curve was like, this is really something physical. And then the moment I figured out, like, it's not physical, it's deep. Well, it is physical, but it's much deeper. The learning curve was like that when it came to the spiritual realm. You figure out the physical part of this, you figure out what the physical part really means, your gang stalking will be turned up 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. I'll promise you that. So, that's one thing I will tell you. I'll be honest. You think you being gang stalked with electronic device monitoring, or your car got scratched, or something always go wrong in your life. If you think that's as bad as gang stalking get, call me after your first 2 months after you realize it's spiritual, and you see what happened. But learning that the first part of gang stalking manifested itself in a physical way, and that's the way I perceived it. The moment I perceived the spiritual aspects, it really got cranked up. But in the spiritual aspect of gang stalking, the second part of it is where I gained power to actually fight back. Like, you're totally defenseless. You're totally defenseless when you're in level 1 gang stalking and you have a dream about somebody and this person's actually a fallen angel possessed person or demon possessed. You're defenseless when you have a dream and this person is in it and they came to you in your dream and you are not aware of physical things, of how a person in your dream can really be aware that they're in that spiritual realm, and they came to your dream to ask you certain questions to see what your intentions were. So they're using astral projection on you, presenting themselves in your dream to gather intelligence on you to formulate a plan. And if you are unaware of the origination of gang stalking occurring in the physical realm, you are not going to pay attention in your dreams. You are just going to think, oh, I had a dream about this and we were doing this. But that person on the other end, that astral project, has gathered all that information, and they're going to use it against you in formulating a plan to spiritually gang stalk you. So, man, I'm like everybody else. Up in a year ago, a year ago, I would have never believed that other people that were in my dreams could be aware of my dreams and what I said in my dreams and what my intention was in my dreams. Because like in your dream, you're usually not aware of it. I was totally oblivious that could be a possibility. That if somebody had access to my dreams, how do I defend against that? How would I defend against somebody coming into my dream and asking me questions and then using that information against me? You know, it was only knowing that is true, that demons astral project to you and you're in the physical realm. When you're in a dream state, you're in a spiritual realm. Spiritual realm. When you're in a dream state, you're in a spiritual realm. When you're in a spiritual realm, there's other spirits. Just like right now, I'm in a physical realm and there's these two little dogs down here cutting up. Like, we both in a physical realm. But there is a spiritual realm. And when you have a dream, you ain't the only one in it. So you need to learn how to fight in that realm. And then you'll realize like that realm is accessible not only in dreams, but it's also accessible when you're in a waking state. And I just pray that everyone's gang stalking of the physical realm, that Father God opens their eyes. That's really the only way out of it. Opens their eyes to a perception that allows them to see out of this physical realm. So they can discover the root causes, so they can see the aspect of where they're being hit from, so they can formulate a plan of defenses and set up a perimeter around their soul to prevent their energy from being stolen. That's really all it is, people. These people have, demon-possessed gang stalkers have sold their soul, and their soul has went dead. So they have become as gods, well, like as Satan God, knowing good and evil. But it's like the moment they have bitten that forbidden fruit, they became a race car with the biggest engine, but they no longer have access to any type of gas. They got a bum gas being the energy, and they get it from you. So like, without stealing energy from the children of light, they literally cannot maintain themselves. Think of that like a psychic vampire or a real vampire. Like, without blood, the vampire dies. A demon-possessed person that is fully demon-possessed, that has made a deal with Satan, without energy, they die. They'll go nuts. Like, Satan turns on them when they don't produce. He's like the ultimate sweatshop runner in the kingdom of darkness. I'm praying for all of you guys, because I know that's something you have to become aware of. I can't teach you that. I can only plant a seed that you'll be open-minded. Man, look deeper. Pray. I don't care who you pray to. Pray that whoever you pray to opens your eyes to see more than what you see now, and the rest will take on from there. But until then, until next time, family, you guys stay equipped in the full armor, covered in the blood, filled with the Spirit, in the name of the Son, the power of the true living God. I'm KP, and I'm out.